Imagine waking up in the morning, looking out your window, and seeing the entire planet stretched out below you. That's the reality for astronauts living and working on the International Space Station. There's a special kind of magic seeing our planet from above, one that can totally change your perspective on our spaceship, Earth. Only a few people have had this amazing experience, and today we're talking with one of them. Hi, I'm Taylor from WOW STEM, and today I'm sitting with former NASA astronaut named Cady Coleman. Dr. Coleman has flown multiple missions with NASA. She's also a chemist, a mom, a musician, a retired U.S. Air Force colonel, and a passionate science communicator. Dr. Coleman, it's such an honor to have you speaking with us today.
It's so nice to be here. You know, when you read that list, I mean, it's always funny when people ask like who you are, what you do, and like I do all those things. I'm always a little worried when I go, well, I am a musician, but you know, if you make music, then you are.
I want to start by talking about your time in orbit. You flew 3 total space flights, 2 in space shuttles and 1 on the International Space Station, the ISS. What were the goals for these missions?
The first one, I mean, they're all my favorite in a certain way, right? But the first one, I'm originally a polymer scientist, a plastics chemist, more on the sort of organic chemistry, pour things together, making different kinds of molecules and chains of molecules. And so the first mission was a science mission that was literally like a pathfinder for the space station, because it was right when we were really planning the space station to be this international laboratory. My second mission was to launch the Chandra X-ray Observatory. So a very different kind of mission where we launched one of the great observatories, and Chandra is the one that is looking at X-rays. So the way I think of this is, you know, when galaxies are colliding, when stars are exploding, supernovas, you know, when black holes are sucking things in, they're also spewing things out. And these are those higher energy processes. And so being a part of the team that basically sent Chandra on her way to work.
When I see videos of astronauts working on the ISS, I'm always struck with how weird everything is in microgravity. Even like the most basic things like eating and sleeping, I feel like could be very different. Could you talk a bit about daily life in microgravity and how it affects?
So when you said it sounds weird, like what have you seen that made you kind of go, whoa?
I think the weirdest one that I've seen is like seeing water where it would form its own little bumps and bubble. Yeah.
And to me, I tell people like even eating is a science experiment. And I think it's also, it reminds you of the possibilities of understanding other things. And the fact that, I mean, eating macaroni and cheese is not actually hard up there because it sort of sticks together. But chicken soup, you know, that's going to be like maybe in a package, you might cut off just the corner and maybe just kind of like, you know, scooch it out kind of thing. And so you're really thinking about each different thing. And I think that it made me think about a lot of different kinds of material science about how to mix things and what it meant to actually build things. And actually what is a structure? You know, so if you've created like this kind of structure with like rice and Thai food, I mean, you know, what does that mean for space structures, you know, and for future vehicles? They just don't have to have the same rules that we do. And even I think about what we eat and growing fresh food up there. Thinking about things like, you know, I live in Western Massachusetts, and when it gets to be August, we eat corn every single day because it's right out of the fields. It's really amazing. And yet, if I was going to grow corn up in space, the corn stalks, I mean, we don't really need all that structure just to put corn.
Oh, I'd never thought about that.
And, you know, and so, you know, so you change it. And yet down here, we talk a lot about synthetic biology and what does that mean? And is it okay to do? And yet, if we want to go places that we haven't been, how much do we keep it's us? And how much do we try to learn to adapt to what's there? And what do those lessons mean when we go back home? So I love being part of that cycle. And that's why I love being part of, you know, space exploration.